Hey guys, this is Dean from IGUK here, and this is the latest update to the pre-alpha tech demo for the Isle. And as you can see, a lot has changed since the previous video I did of the demo, and it looks absolutely awesome. Graphically, it's improved so much, and this map is actually the alpha version of the Isle, which will be in the final game. The map I previously did a video on was just the test map to give people a feel of what it kind of would be like, and to be honest, it's nowhere near as pretty as this new one is. You can still get to the test map through the use of console commands. However, after playing this map, I don't think you'll really want to go back to the test map. This map is absolutely huge, and I mean huge. I've tried to get to the edge. It gets to certain points it gets really foggy and stuff. I don't know whether there's an actual end to the map yet, but it's massive. It's absolutely massive, though there isn't that much in it at the moment. Now, before I continue, I just wanted to mention that the Kickstarter started at the beginning of this month and really needs people to get behind it because it hasn't been doing too well, and to make this game a reality, it needs people to not hesitate, and just even a $1 donation will help the game out. There's only around about 10 days left. 9-10 days, depends on when this video comes out. I'm recording it a couple of days early. I think one of the main problems is a lot of people still seem to be pointing out that the dinosaur models are the ones from the Stomping Land, which is indeed true, and I can understand their confusion if they have only just stumbled across the game. The models, though, were originally intended for the Stomping Land, yes. However, as Jig, the developer, failed to pay the modeler for his work and has not been heard of since God knows how long, the modelers decided to lease them to the developers of the Isle. So do not get confused with the developers of the Isle being the same as the one that was working on the Stomping Land, because they are not the same. The models are the same, but they have leased them. So part of the Kickstarter funding is to purchase the exclusivity rights to these fantastic models. There's a lot of the dinosaur games out there that have models nowhere near as good as these ones. You can understand why they want to purchase exclusivity rights to these. Personally, I believe this game is going to be huge, and the planned features will really set it apart from other dinosaur games out there. And it will be quite a bit more unique, because the dinosaur games that are out now seem to just be variations of games that have already been done. Since the very first version of this tech demo was released, it has received a lot of updates, and very quickly as well, including the addition of the pack hunting Austroraptor in all its feathery glory. Most of the dinosaurs have all got feathers, if not all of them will have feathers, and all the dinosaurs will be playable. Also, I just wanted to go back onto the subject of the map, as well as this alpha version of the Isle being added to the demo. There's also another map dubbed Bunker Test, which you can access through console command, and there's a really cool trailer for this over on the game's YouTube channel. The link will be in the description below. And when I first watched it, I got the very same feeling as when I first played Dino Crisis, that dark and creepy jump out at you any second feeling, adding that sense of horror to the game. And with the dinosaurs not only being AI controlled but also player controlled, there's going to be a lot of jump scares, especially in maps like the bunker. The bunker is basically, it's like an underground military bunker that's been abandoned, and it's really actually creepy. It gives you that little bit of a creepy horror feeling, and I really like that the horror element is being added, as no dinosaur game since Dino Crisis really had that feeling of where you inch around every corner because you are scared of what might be lurking around there. I remember walking down one of the corridors in Dino Crisis, and a raptor jumped through the window. I absolutely crapped myself. Not literally, but almost. It was that scary. Now, in the last video, I'm not sure whether I spoke much about the planned features. I did mention most dinosaurs are planned to be playable. The different mutated dinosaur strains sound awesome. I'm sure I mentioned them in the previous video, but these strains that you will have to have the option to become once you reach a certain required level will add
so many more dimensions to the dinosaur gameplay, with the hyperendocrine strain being an almost unkillable tank that must continually eat to maintain its regenerative abilities. The stealthy tissoplastic strain, which has quills that it can use to set traps and poison enemy humans and dinosaurs, even though I think a human's going to die in one bite anyway. But they also will be able to blend in with the environment, sort of like a chameleon, as far as I'm aware. If I've got any of this information wrong, I've just kind of got it from the various social media pages, and I've been watching the streams quite regularly, and a lot of this information is from the Kickstarter, so I'm sorry if I've got any of it wrong. Now, the one strain that has me really interested is the Brainbox strain. The neurotenic strain will be capable of disabling electrical equipment such as, I'm guessing, human flashlights and generators to bases, basically cutting out all the electricity. You can imagine what that's going to be like at night when you're holding down in a base and the lights suddenly go out. Also, it was going to have the ability to project a telekinetic shield, which I'm guessing is good. Well, which is going to basically probably be bulletproof. But I don't think they're going to make them too overpowered. These things are going to be able to be taken down. And the main interesting thing is that they're going to be able to understand humans speaking, and they're going to know exactly what you're saying. And also the ability to lead cross-species packs, so they can lead raptors, T-Rexes, all that kind of stuff using their superior intelligence. And this train sounds like it will be all kinds of awesome. Just want to cover the planned features in this video, because I'm not too sure whether anyone's actually covered them in their video on YouTube yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and cover all the information. More of the features being added include the ability to recover and restore abandoned military bases ravaged by the environment and the creatures that dwell upon the isle. So you'll be able to recover them and use them to defend yourself, and you'll be able to fortify these bases to defend against dinosaurs and obviously against other opposing human factions. There's going to be 3 factions: hunters, poachers, and the scavengers. The scavengers like a free-for-all, and the hunters and poachers of like a set faction, and also beings from your nightmares. Which brings us onto the 3rd faction, known simply as cannibals. However, these appear to be more than just human. These beings indigenous to the Isle will also be playable, using bows and spears, along with their incredible agility and ability to jump across cavern expanses, leap tree to tree, climb up vertical surfaces upside down, and slaughter, flay, eat, and destroy the human invaders. These sound absolutely awesome. And on top of these insane physical capabilities, these creatures will be able to make even the most ferocious of dinosaurs bow to them. But it won't simply be a case of bumping it on the head and reading it a bedtime story, as pretty much most other survival games involving dinosaurs tend to go about the taming system. To tame them and eventually ride these dinosaurs, you will have to brutally dominate and force them to submit to obey your commands. As you can see from these concept art images, the reins are basically pierced into the animal in a cruel manner. So basically you're going to beat these animals into submission. You're not going to just, like I said before, bump them on the head and feed them a bit and they'll all magically be tamed. You're going to have to force these creatures to obey by using animal cruelty, basically. Can't wait to see all these new features added and these changes implemented. As I've probably said before, this game could be huge. And I mean huge, because it doesn't sound like there's a game out there involving dinosaurs, at least anyway, that's anywhere remotely like this. If any of these features float your boat or have piqued your interest, you should really consider checking out his Kickstarter page. It only has about 10 days left to make $45,000, which sounds like a long shot, but it is entirely possible when you consider the content this game already has and what is planned under its belt. I'm actually surprised it hasn't already sailed past its goal. There are games with a lot less to show that have hit their goals with plenty of time to spare. I personally have already backed the Isle because I believe it will stand out against almost every other game out there, given the features that are planned. And once they're implemented, it's going to be endless possibilities with the inclusion of modding as well when the game hits full release. Hopefully I've managed to cover as much of the updates and planned features as I can. If I've missed something, all information can be found on the Kickstarter page and various social media pages. Thank you very much for watching and listening to me ramble on. All the related links will be provided in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.